Is Mark Carney going to form a majority without even having an election? It's very interesting. People are nervous about it right now, and as we all know, that Chris D'Entremont, whatever his name is, decided to cross the floor. Like the treacherous coward that he is. Now a lot of people are worried a couple more are going to come over. Now those rumors have been dispelled by a couple of them, but who knows who Mark Carney can convince with some money or promises of a cabinet position, which, by the way, comes with a very big raise. So we're going to have to see what happens here. Now, Mario Zelaya has a video giving his thoughts, and I just wanted to show that to you, react to it, and talk about it. Now, before we do, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Really helps grow the channel, and I appreciate you guys so much for doing that for me. So let's have a look, and then we'll talk about it.
I don't have the greatest news. It looks like Mark Carney will likely be forming a majority government. He's going to do this by courting other MPs to join the Liberal Party. We've already seen Chris from Nova Scotia, I think it's D'Entremont. He just joined the Liberal Party of Canada. That puts Mark Carney 2 people away from forming a majority. I just got word that a second is going to be crossing the floor. What worries me is the Toronto Sun just put out an article talking about 2 others that are being courted. The people that are mentioned in the article isn't the same person that I heard is crossing the floor. That would give Mark Carney the majority. I don't understand how one could do this to their voters or to even their country. The sad reality is so many people volunteered for that election. So many people participated, donated money to have a conservative representative who won, only to have that conservative representative leave and join the party that they didn't want to vote for in the first place.
And, you know, that's the sick part is D'Entremont literally campaigned as a conservative and agreed with Pierre Poilievre, said he stood with Pierre Poilievre. What possibly changed in the past 6-7 months for him to feel differently? Probably starts with an M, right? Money? Cabinet position or whatever else? I'm not sure exactly what Mark Carney must have said to this guy, but let's be honest, it's not like this guy had a change of heart over the last 6 years. Pierre Poilievre has been the leader of the opposition since 2022. So it really doesn't make sense for this guy to come out and say, well, I don't stand with him anymore. It's like, what do you mean? He hasn't changed. He got 41% of the vote. There were extreme circumstances keeping him from winning the election, and now all of a sudden, he just doesn't feel very conservative anymore. Is he bitter about not being the deputy speaker of the House like he was? I don't know what it could possibly be, but something is clearly up. And like Mario says, the people who donated, the people who volunteered, gave their time, the people who ordered signs supporting this guy, he just spat in all of their faces. And you gotta think those people are really pissed off right now. I sure as hell would be. I mean, good luck getting another seat with the Conservatives in the future, buddy. Not to mention, the next time we do have an election, are the Liberals even going to choose you as their candidate? Just because you're a sitting MP doesn't mean Mark Carney can't get rid of you either. MPs can be fired. Or replaced. Just ask Chandra Arya, who was kicked out of his seat by Mark Carney so that Mark Carney could run in a Liberal, safe riding. When Pierre did that and ran for Battle River Crowfoot, that was a big problem. But, you know, as they say, when a Liberal does something, it's fine. When a Conservative does the same thing, well, it's not even the same thing. Pierre didn't kick out Ned Damien Keurig. Keurig actually resigned. There's a video of it. There's no video of Chandra Arya resigning, though, right? Wonder why. Go read the statement that Chandra Arya put out as well. This is a democratically elected MP, and Mark Carney just said, nope, sorry, kicked him out. So if it can happen to him, it can happen to anyone else. But it looks like Chris D'Entremont's going to play ball with the Liberals. That's fine. It's sad. It's disheartening. It's betrayal at the highest level in terms of politics, at least for an MP. But that's what's happening, and that's what we got to deal with. Hopefully, 2 others do not cross, but even if they do, let's say, because I know people are scared of Mark Carney potentially getting this majority without having an election, but even if they get the slight majority, there will be by-elections within the next year or so. So this might extend Mark Carney's tenure a little bit longer, but let's be honest. Once people figure out who this guy really is, the Liberals will start losing by-elections to the NDP and to the Conservatives, which will take away the majority anyway, and then the opposition would have enough votes to force an election. So please, again, have hope. It's not completely over yet, and even if they do get a majority, like I said, we can still reverse that.
I don't understand how these members of parliament think that this is okay. This is the ultimate betrayal. This is a betrayal on all voters. It's a betrayal on our whole democratic system. We voted you to represent a certain set of values. And then they join another party that is in contrary to those values. It makes absolutely no sense. If you really want to leave the Conservative Party, resign. Let the people decide who they want representing them in Parliament. Call a by-election. This is insane.
And he's right. Why not just resign? Call a by-election, let the people decide. But it ain't about the people with the Liberals. It's about themselves and their own self-interest. Why do you think Mark Carney wanted to be Prime Minister? You don't think that guy's still heavily invested in Brookfield? Of course he is. And now that Brookfield is making a lot more money since Mark Carney's been Prime Minister, wonder why. All of his investments are in the United States, and their economy is doing pretty well. Better than ours. That's why Mark Carney has so few investments here. But either way, it's going to be a very, very crazy and interesting next few months. So we're gonna see what happens here. But again, have hope. Even if they do get the majority, which I don't really even think they will. But even if they do, they won't hold on to it for long. They're not going to get such a strong majority where they hold on to it for 4 years. My bigger concern is that once a trade deal gets done, Mark Carney's numbers spike in the poll, and then he calls an election and wins a majority. And a strong majority at that. But again, we'll have to see. The clock is ticking. People are going to start getting pissed off. And if we get a deal that sucks, even though the Liberals and the mainstream media will say otherwise, we'll have to see what happens there. I mean, it's very tough to predict what's going to happen in the near future. All we can do is spread hope, spread awareness that this doesn't happen. We got to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure that during the next election, we get the change that this country needs.